Alicia, if you could please introduce yourself, your business, where you're located.
Sure. Hi, I'm Alicia. I run Buxom Boudoir, which is a self-love focused boudoir studio in Port Washington, Wisconsin, which is about 20 minutes north of Milwaukee. I've been doing this for over 5 years now. I have a studio downtown and it's amazing. I love it.
How did you get into photography in general or boudoir photography specifically?
Sure. So I've always been really a creative person. Photography was kind of a little hobby that I had in high school and college. And then I started getting into like the makeup industry. So I started working with a lot of photographers by doing styling for sessions. And that's when I learned what boudoir even was. Once I realized, oh, this is a super cool genre, I moved to Port. And when I moved to Port, I realized, A, there wasn't a boudoir specific studio in my area. And B, I was on my own self-love journey at the time. I was so sick of hating myself that I was like, all right, I guess it's time to put the work in and really figure out why I feel this way about my body. So the fact that there was no boudoir specific studio and the fact that I was starting my own self-love journey, I was like, the two things just kind of meshed and clicked for me. So that's why I started doing it, because I thought, well, if this is a tool that works for me, and if I'm learning all of this stuff about how to think about my body and relearn how to accept my body, why can't I share that with other people? And I'm going to use boudoir to do that.
That's amazing. Okay, so boudoir photographers used to be a very specific niche, and that was like all they did. And now I feel
Mhm.
like I see a lot of people who are like, yeah, I shoot families and weddings and kids, and then I also do boudoir. Can you talk about, if someone's looking for a boudoir photographer, why it might be important for them to go to someone who specializes in boudoir versus someone who just does it also?
Sure. So I totally get the appeal of like shooting a million genres. I have a couple other genres that even I like to dabble in, like pet portraits, like please put your dog in front of me. But I specialize in boudoir, and I think the reason why it's worth investigating a photographer or checking out a photographer who specializes in boudoir is because this genre is so very different than weddings or families or kids or newborns or things like that. And people who are really, really great at that might not be taking the time to learn about consent with photography, how to work with negative body image in photography. They might not know about how to work with someone who has, I don't know, maybe a disability or difficulty with posing in certain ways, because they've got a lot of other stuff going on, and that's fine. But as someone who's like 95% of what I do is boudoir, I have a lot more time to really figure out, okay, how do I want to make a shoot that someone is leaving here more comfortable in their skin? Like, this is supposed to be a tool. This is supposed to be something that when they leave, they have tactical physical memories that they enjoyed spending time in their body, and they have a good body, and that's what they're leaving with. They're not just pretty pictures. They're not just a gift for someone else. I think people who are really honed in on just boudoir understand that this is a type of photography far above just pretty pictures. And so that's really, really cool. Boudoir photographers are not going to feel squeamish around nude people. We understand how to work with someone who's in that vulnerable state, which is very different from somebody who's clothed, maybe in the middle of a park with their family. It's a different experience. So things like that. That's why, like, I think looking for maybe a niche boudoir photographer, it might be the better option. It might not, but it's worth checking out.
Sure. Do you have any other advice for someone looking for a boudoir photographer, things to look for?
Yeah, I would make sure that you click with their personality, because if you are not vibing with that person, it will show in your pictures. If you don't feel like you can be vulnerable, comfortable, or safe with that person, that's going to show. through your face and your eyes, and you might actually leave feeling worse about yourself, which I think some people don't realize. Boudoir photographers have the ability to help people's body image, but more so than I think any other genre, we have the power to destroy it further if we're not careful. And that's a lot of responsibility to take on as a photographer. So you got to make sure you click with that person. So follow them on social media, do a consult, talk to them on the phone, or maybe meet them in person. Just make sure that, like, okay, I can spend 2, 3, 4 hours alone with this person and I'm going to feel okay. That's really, really important. And then I think the other important thing is seeing if they have bodies in their portfolio that look like yours. That's going to make you feel a lot more comfortable as well. And it's going to make you, again, just feel kind of safer with that person. I know that's what I hear from a lot of my clients when they say, oh, I booked you because I saw somebody with a body similar to mine, or I booked you because you photographed someone who had a body even larger than mine, and I thought they looked great, so I came to you. So right off the bat, they feel like this is a safe space for them because they're seeing people who look like them. So diverse portfolios are great. That goes for the size of someone, that goes for the age of someone, that goes for the skin color, that goes for physical abilities, all of that. And granted, some of that stuff, like, you can't see in a photo, but that's where the consult is important, is you can ask, like, okay, hey, I have a disability where I can't move this way. Are you comfortable still working with me and posing me? The answer better be yes. But, you know, that's why seeing stuff like that and having that consult's really important, because I'm not going to book someone as my photographer if I see people who are only smaller than me. I'm just going to assume you don't know what to do with my body.
Yep. Along that route, do you have any kind of tried and true advice that you give to all of your clients before they come to a session, of just to kind of prepare them for what's going to happen?
Yeah. Stretching is great. If you want to do a little bit of movement beforehand, that really does come in handy. Drinking lots of water as well. We want your muscles just to feel warmed up and, like, safe. But from a mental perspective, I tell folks, you know, you got to come in with an open mind. I cannot undo decades of body image insecurity. I wish I could, man. Wouldn't that be cool? But I can't. So you got to come in with an open mind, and you got to come in with realistic expectations. Is this going to solve all of your body image issues? No. But if we can have fun today and you can let loose a little bit and just practice not giving that inner critic any energy, then this is a win. Odds are a boudoir shoot is already far outside of your comfort zone. So you're already learning and growing. You might as well lean into that. If you come to a session feeling really closed off, you're not willing to try, you don't want to, you don't want to push yourself outside of that comfort zone, and you just walk in and you're like, my body is stupid and I don't like it, there's not much I can do. So this is it's a team effort. I got to be a great photographer. I got to make sure I'm putting you at ease, making sure you're feeling good, and you've got to come with an open mind and willing to try something new. If we both do that, I can pretty much guarantee, like, it's going to be great.
That's incredible. Do you have, like, any favorite poses or props or outfits or anything like that that is kind of like universal to people, or is it like specific to each client?
I definitely have some poses that I like to do for every person. I always start my sessions with booty pictures, almost always, because you get used to hearing me work around behind you. You get used to hearing the camera. We're warming up your body, but you don't have to look at me. Like, you can make the dumbest, derpiest face in the world. Doesn't matter. I'm taking photos of your butt. It's fine. So I do that with almost everybody. Right off the bat, we're taking pictures of your booty. So I pretty much run through like the same 2 or 3 booty poses right off the bat. And then another pose that I love doing is having someone sit on like a footstool or a box or something, and then lay with their back across the edge of the bed. And the reason I like doing this is because then the bed is doing all the work. It's great. Boudoir takes a lot of muscle use sometimes, and a lot of my clients do a lot of arching during the sessions. I do like to give them breaks. We always take breaks, but my favorite thing to do is I'm like, listen, we're gonna let your muscles and your spine breathe for a little bit, and we're gonna make the bed and the furniture do all the work. Anytime I can get furniture or pillows to do the posing for us, that's a win.
Okay, well, where can people find you online?
My website is buxomboudoir.com. You can find me on Instagram at Buxom Boudoir. You can find me on Facebook at Buxom Boudoir. And I'm pretty sure my TikTok is either Alicia Schmidt or Buxom Boudoir. Yeah, that's where you can find me.